What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hold Your Phone podcast. I'm your host, Alex, joined today by my co-host, Ryan. How you doing, man?
I'm good, but I'm a little sad, man. We only got one football game left this year.
I know, it's flown by. Honestly, I can't remember a season that's gone by this quickly in a very long time.
Yeah, for sure.
But, that being said, I guess we can just recap the conference championship games. We can start with the first one was the Chiefs beat the Titans 35-24. It's the Chiefs' first Super Bowl appearance since 1969. I'll let Ryan go first on this one.
Yeah, I think this was kind of the outcome we were all expecting, although a lot of people were hopping on the Tennessee Titans bandwagon, especially you, Alex, because, you predicted them to get this far. You were backing them way before the playoffs even started, so you, if anybody, led the Titans bandwagon, so I'm sure you were sad to see them get eliminated. They played a hell of a game, but the Chiefs were on a warpath to Miami, and they did that. The biggest thing here is they held Derrick Henry to less than 61 total yards. He had 69 rush yards on 19 carries and -8 receiving yards on 2 catches. So that was the biggest thing because Derrick Henry has been an absolute monster. And, we were all just waiting to see when he was going to run out of steam. And I don't think that this Chiefs defense is like crazy elite. They've got some good pieces, but I think Derrick Henry's just gassed. He's been carrying this team on his back for months. So you can't fault him at all. Ryan Tannehill didn't have a terrible game. He actually threw for 21 of 31 and for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, which is not a bad day at all. But they just Kansas City's offense was better. How did you feel about the game?
Yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, neither team had a turnover, which is pretty shocking, but it just seemed as if the better team won. Like, the Titans were the hotter team, but the Chiefs were the way better team. And the Titans just didn't have an answer for them when Derrick Henry couldn't really get it going. He had 70 yards rushing, or 69, but I don't know. They couldn't get it going, and then they had no answer for Patrick Mahomes because he's the best quarterback in the NFL without question to me, and probably will be for the next 5 to 10 years. So it's going to be exciting to watch this Chiefs team. If I'm a Titans fan, I'm incredibly proud of this team. They overachieved incredibly. At one point, about week 14, we didn't even know if they were going to make the playoffs. And then for y'all to end up in the conference championship, that's a hell of a season. So, I don't know. I think the Chiefs, yeah, you're in the Super Bowl. We'll talk about you a little bit later. And then next week, if I'm a Titans fan, you have a lot of questions going into this offseason. Like, how much do you pay Derrick Henry? Do you franchise tag Ryan Tannehill, or do you actually pay him? Just a lot of questions. What do you do with Corey Davis? Is he a number one? Because I don't think so. A.J. Brown seems to have taken that over, but do you keep him on the roster? Your defense is old. There's just a lot of questions going into this Titans team. But also, I have to be happy if I'm a Titans fan just because we have a great coach, and I know that he will build a system around whatever players he has in the team.
Yeah, lots of good takes. That being said, is Mike Vrabel coach of the year?
No.
Who is?
It's whichever Harbaugh is the Ravens coach. You can't give it to anybody else.
Really?
And Vrabel wouldn't even be my second. I think Mike Tomlin would probably be my second. What he did with that team, if you look at that roster is terrible. So he'd probably be third.
I was thinking of Vrabel or Shanahan, but I like the Tomlin, and I don't like Harbaugh as much because the Ravens have always been a powerhouse.
I know, but he's gonna win it, dude. You know he is.
See, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh,
because you have 2 other finalists who actually made the conference championship in Vrabel and Shanahan, and then Tomlin was like right at the cusp. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one this year. I don't think they can go wrong.
I wouldn't be mad at them. Yeah, whoever they give it to, I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah.
Um,
So what do you do if you're the Titans with Corey Davis?
try and trade him. Is he under
I just-
contract? What's his contract? Hang on.
Well, he was their first round pick in 2017, so he's got a year left if they decline his 5th-year option, which I imagine they're going to because he's certainly not worth that.
Yeah, so right now his salary is only $6 million. I would definitely try and trade him. And he signed a 4-year deal. So what's he under contract for, another year?
Yeah. I don't know though, because I mean,
How
this
old?
is kind of like a prove it year.
How
And
old is he? Though?
I don't think he's that old. He's probably like 25.
He's 25.
25.
Yeah.
I say you might as well keep him because no one's going to trade for him with how deep this wide receiver class is.
I think you keep him, but you move him over to your wide receiver 2. Like, A.J. Brown is clearly the number 1 at this point.
Yeah, I feel like they've been trying to force like a square into circle peg. Because I hate to say it, but he's a bust. They took him 5th overall in 2017, and he has not even come close to what he was supposed to be. Like he's a bust.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Hopefully things turn around for him, but I see him staying in Tennessee and kind of doing more of the same.
And I think they franchised Tannehill.
Yeah, even though I feel like this is just a Nick Foles situation waiting to happen, but
Yeah, but he's old. Tannehill's like 32, I think.
Tannehill's old or Nick Foles is old? I guess they're both old.
Ryan Tannehill's 31. Nick Foles is 31. So they're the same age.
Wow.
But they're not like a Tom Brady or a Drew Brees where they're not going to play till they're 40. Like, neither one of these guys can play for a lot longer, but I would much rather have Ryan Tannehill on a cheaper contract than what Nick Foles' contract is.
For sure. And I don't know if I've pitched this idea yet, but I would just franchise Tannehill and draft Jake Fromm or Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. I think if Tannehill makes it to the open market, there's going to be other teams that want him.
Oh, yeah.
The Panthers, I could see being one.
That would be weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
Why? He'd be an insurance policy for Cam if they keep him. But the more and more I read about it, the more and more it seems like they're going to try and trade him. And then, I don't know. What's another team that you could see? Probably the Chargers, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be a good fit
right
for the
there.
Chargers.
That'd be crazy.
But I guess with that being said, did you have anything else on Tannehill?
I don't think so. I guess we can move on to the other game.
Yeah, so the second game, 49ers beat the Packers 37-20. And honestly, it was basically the Packers couldn't stop the run. I think me and Ryan texted about this a little bit. Packers couldn't stop the run, and on offense, the Packers have no offensive line and really no other weapons other than Devontae Adams as a receiver. Aaron Jones, they just fell behind too much, and he didn't fit the game plan at that point. I mean, the fact that the 49ers put up 37 and Jimmy Garoppolo threw it 8 times.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert, jeez, man. 29 carries, 220 yards, 4 touchdowns.
That's a grown man's workload right there.
Yeah, it is. And good for him, man. I think he's been on like 7 teams or something like that. And I saw an interview like after the game. He was like, yeah, I have the list of teams that have cut me, and I look at that list every single day before a game.
That's crazy. If you were in that, see, I think Mostert and Breida are both restricted free agents this offseason. Or something, exclusive rights, something like that. I think both are supposed to be free agents. What do you do here?
You let Burrito walk, and you keep Mostert and Coleman.
Because you also got to think, they have Jerick McKinnon that they've been waiting to, like, unveil for, like, 2 years.
So in March, San Francisco signed... Wow, they have Raheem Mostert on a cheap contract. In March, they signed him to a 3-year deal worth $8.7 million with $3 million guaranteed.
That's gross.
I feel bad for him. That's crazy. Is Matt Burrito under contract?
No, I think he's the one that.
I think he's the free agent, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in 2017 he signed a 3-year contract for $1.6 million. So, yeah, he's a free agent at the end of the year, and then Tevin Coleman's contract is bad, I think. Right? Oh no, not that bad. 2-year,
like
$10 million.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Wow, they have a lot of cheap running backs, honestly. Yeah. You're definitely keeping Mostert because he's so cheap. And then, yeah, I think you let Burrito walk and you rock with Mostert, Coleman, and then you probably draft somebody. Late. Like, super late.
Yeah.
Well, back to this game. I feel like the final score doesn't really, like, put on display how badly the Packers got smacked.
I mean, the final score was 17 was the deficit. So, I mean, they got smacked. It was basically a blowout from the beginning.
Weren't they down 28-0 at one point?
Yeah, or like 28. Yeah, I think it was 28-0.
Yeah, it was like, cool. We finally let off the gas. And you finally got on the board. It was bad.
I wish Seattle had beaten Green Bay 2 weeks ago, because I feel like they would have put up a much better fight.
Yeah, so Green Bay scored their first touchdown with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. So they were down 27-0 at halftime. And then, I mean, basically it was over at halftime. Like, this was a boring game, and I did not expect it to be. I believe I picked the Packers to win. I think Ryan picked the 49ers. They pretty much shit the bed is what the Packers did.
Yeah, I just feel like, well, first off, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is ever going to go to the Super Bowl again. Second of all, I don't think that the Packers have ever done enough to, like, build around Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think they might go to the Super Bowl. I think he has maybe like 2 years left like a window of like 2 to 3 years. And then it's pretty much shut. I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers, honestly, because I feel like he shouldn't have signed that contract with them because they're wasting away his talent, honestly. I'm trying to look up what their draft picks are for this year. Because I think that, okay, so they have a pick in every single round. I think they need to use 2 or 3 of those on wide receivers.
See, they did that like 2 years ago, and like none of them were good. It was like Jamon Moore, Equanimous St. Brown, and like somebody else, and like none of those guys panned out, like even at all.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you're gonna have to, like.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, but like I'm just saying, like it's sad because that's not even the first time that they've done that.
Damn, and they don't even pick till 30th.
Yeah,
they literally, I think their entire draft needs to be offensive line and wide receivers, basically.
I don't know, man. They've got some holes on defense too.
Well,
not as many, but like
Kevin King is just awful at cornerback. So
I would take Kevin King for a low money deal in Buffalo.
No, you wouldn't. You'd take Kevin King for like a 6th round pick. He's not good. He's so slow.
Hey, I mean,
y'all could have there are better DBs that would play for Buffalo.
You're not wrong.
Although apparently he's not that slow. His 40 time was a 4.43. So maybe
I love how you just pull up the random facts.
I'm just on my computer, so I just needed to know. After I called him slow, I was like, let me find out if I'm completely wrong on this.
Let me back that up.
That's
not a good time.
Before we, yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it's not bad. Before we jump into the little prop bets in the Pro Bowl that I have here in our news, you want to, or actually, maybe we should save our pre-Super Bowl week Super Bowl talk for the end of the show?
Yeah.
Okay. What news did you have for this week?
Not a whole lot. The biggest piece of news came about a few hours ago when Giants quarterback, or I guess former Giants quarterback, Eli Manning announced that he's retiring after 16 seasons in the NFL. I think that's a pretty big deal. I mean, although he's like the last 5 or 6 years of his career, excuse me, I can't talk right now. The last few years of his career kind of sucked because it didn't have an offensive line, and his decision making just got really bad, and he lost his throwing touch. It was not very fun to watch, but I mean, he's still a cornerstone of the NFL for the past 15 years, and I think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's like first ballot or anything like that, but I think he finds his way in there. I mean, he was a great player. I think he has 2 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't keep a guy like that out of there. I know the last few years were garbage, like I've been saying, but like he's a great player when you look at like the whole career start to finish. What do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think he is definitely a Hall of Famer. I mean, the fact that he won 2 Super Bowl championships, and I'm trying to find out, was he... Okay, yeah, he's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP also. So how do you keep him out of the Hall of Fame? And also, the man didn't miss a game until he was benched for Geno Smith.
That still makes me mad.
So mad, dude. Like, if you're going to bench him for Geno Smith, like... That's insane to me. If it was Daniel Jones, okay, cool. But Geno Smith, we know he's not good. Like, it's not like you're putting in a rookie to prove anything. So, yeah, that just pisses me off. I think he's definitely a Hall of Famer. I agree with you. I don't think he's a first ballot, but I think he definitely gets in. He deserves it 100%.
In other news, Phillip Rivers has moved his family of 10 to Florida to be closer to their extended family. He's basically also telling us through this move that he's pretty much done with the LA Chargers. And I mean, rightfully so. It looks like this breakup's been inevitable. They seem to be trying to move on from him, and he's seeming to try to be moving on from them. He says he still wants to play, but I don't know, man. You got 10 kids. You're not playing well. Your team doesn't want you anymore. That's had you your whole career. I mean, I think it's just time to hang it up. He's also in that same draft class as Eli Manning. And a third member of that class is Ben Roethlisberger, who's also been contemplating retirement for a while. So how do you feel about Phillip Rivers? Should he keep playing? Should he retire? Where would he end up?
Okay, so I definitely think he should retire. But I don't think he will. Well, maybe. But, I mean, there's really only 2 teams that he could play for if he's moving to Florida. And that's the Bucs and the Dolphins, because the Jags aren't taking him on with their quarterback situation already. So are the Bucs going to bring him in to be a backup to Jameis, or are they moving on from Jameis, or do the Dolphins draft somebody and then have him as the backup in the quarterback room?
Yeah, I don't know. See, honestly, especially with what he'll probably be asking for, I don't think there's a market for him. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in free agency and a lot of quarterbacks in the draft, so I don't know if there's really going to be a lot of people hitting his phone up. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. I don't think he's going to like limit them to Florida, because that would definitely kill his market, but like I just don't see a lot of teams like reaching out unless he's really like willing to take a big pay cut and potentially be a backup.
Yeah, I think he's done. I mean, he's 38. And last season was not the best season for him. If I had to guess, I would say he's done.
That would probably be the best thing for him, man.
Yeah, genuinely.
Moving on, we could talk about our good friend Antonio Brown getting into even more trouble today as an arrest warrant goes out for him in the state of Florida, or what is it, Hollywood, Florida?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a place, to be honest. But, yeah, he was involved with an assault and battery case with his trainer, Glenn something. I can't remember his last name. they assaulted an innocent little moving guy, or you know what I mean. He worked for a moving company, and they assaulted him. Apparently, AB threw a rock at him, and this situation, like, you couldn't make this stuff up. And I know we just got a documentary on Aaron Hernandez, but I sure hope that in a few years we get one on AB.
Dude needs help, man. I mean, the fact that his own agent left him and said the only way I'll be his agent is if he gets help. Like, it's like, I want to feel bad for him, but at the same time, he's just such an asshole that, like, whatever, dude. Just go into irrelevancy and let's not think about you anymore. I don't think he'll ever play football again.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he'll find his way in the NFL. I think it would be really cool to see him in the XFL, but I know that won't happen. Yeah, this guy really needs some help, and I really just hope and pray that someone can get through to him, because, I mean, no one has. I feel like everyone in his life is afraid to stand up to him because he's got all the money and the power, and he's flat out aggressive. He's mean. But I mean, I hope that someone can get him the help he needs, and we're praying for him and hoping things shape up in his life, because if not, he's in for a really crappy rest of his life, because, I mean, he's only like 32.
Yeah.
It's just sad, man.
31, I think. You got any other news for us?
I don't think so. I think that's it for news. Not a lot going on this week.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have a ton for you guys next week because it will be Super Bowl week. But as of right now, I'm going to let Ryan pick. Do you want to do Super Bowl prop bets or the Pro Bowl first?
Let's do the Pro Bowl, just because it's this weekend.
Okay. I have 3 questions for you.
All right.
Which team do you think wins, the NFC or the AFC? It's the easiest question.
I got to ride with my boys from the AFC.
Oh, beautiful.
Trey White, Tremaine Edmonds, and Andre Roberts are rolling down to Orlando, so I got to rock with my boys. And also, Kirk Cousins is going to be under center for the NFC. So
yeah, so I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to pick the AFC, mostly because Christian McCaffrey declined to attend the Pro Bowl, so I don't really need to cheer for him. Which kind of leads into my second question. Who do you think wins Super Bowl MVP and gets the brand new truck that comes along with Super Bowl MVP?
You mean Pro Bowl MVP?
Yeah, did I say Super Bowl MVP? I meant Pro Bowl MVP. My bad.
No worries. Pro Bowl MVP. I'm going to say Derrick Henry.
Is he participating?
I think so.
Okay.
And, I mean, no one could tackle Derrick when people are actually trying, and defenses are known to not try very hard in the Pro Bowl. So I could see him easily like having a 100-point game. I mean, 100-yard game with a few touchdowns thrown in there. Like, if he even feels like doing anything, but I mean, like, if he even like remotely tries, I think it's his.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not taking Derrick Henry. I took Lamar Jackson just because basically the same thing. I think he's just going to go out there and pretend like it's a video game and no one's really going to play defense. So, plus I think
Angela likes her pick.
And then the last question for the Pro Bowl, because no one really cares about it. What's one thing that you would change about the Pro Bowl?
One thing that I would change about the Pro Bowl.
I can go first if you need me to.
Yeah, give me a second to think about that.
Okay, have you ever heard Pat McAfee talk about the Pro Bowl?
Yes, but I forgot what points he made.
Okay, so
watching the video.
Yeah, he talked about it. I believe it was either yesterday or today, and he basically said that he thinks it should be not an actual football game. It should be more of like a contest. So they'll have like the quarterbacks face off against each other in like the throwing contest, and then the running backs in like a relay race or something like that. And then, like, the field goal kickers, who can kick the longest one, and the NFC versus AFC, and then basically what they do leading up to the Pro Bowl, like, so, like, on Friday, Saturday. But that's the actual game. And then they just tally up which team has the most points, and whichever one does wins, because no one cares about the Pro Bowl. and they could like put up money for each event that goes to like a charity for the players or something.
That's pretty dope. I like that.
Yeah, me too. When I heard it, I was like, "Yo, why is this not a thing right now?"
Pat McAfee's a genius.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I changed about the Pro Bowl is I get Josh Allen in it. I'm just kidding. But if they had a how many linebackers can you hurdle? I think Josh Allen would win.
Ooh.
But I don't know. I feel like I would actually have to watch the Pro Bowl to know what I would change about it.
I know, dude. Have you ever like? When's the last time you think you watched the Pro Bowl?
I think it was my freshman year of college in 2015. I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch the Pro Bowl. And then, like, 10 minutes in, I was like, I know one does this.
Like, do you think
It's
anybody
not
sits
good.
down and watches the entire thing?
Oh, I bet you there is, but I feel bad for that weenie. I'm just kidding. If you watch the Pro Bowl and you listen to the show, you are definitely not a weenie. It's boring to me, in my opinion. The NFL's got to do something. I don't know what they could do to make it better.
Offer a lot of money to the winning team.
Yeah, I was about to say, just incentivize the players to actually try harder.
Like, just put up like $1 million for the winning team. Each player gets $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, that would certainly incentivize the play. I mean, that would incentivize me.
Yeah, especially the guys still on their rookie contracts. Like Lamar Jackson would be out there balling to get that extra million.
I saw last year they had like a dodgeball tournament. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I think they have that on Saturday where they have like the kicking contest, the QB contest, and then the dodgeball. So now we can move on to the Super Bowl prop bets, and I found like really, I mean they're not super weird, but just like fun ones, not like serious ones. So the first one, by the way, I'm writing these down so we can see who's right. Coin toss. You think it's gonna be heads or tails, Ryan?
I'm gonna go tails.
Oh, good, because I'm going heads. And then this is just really quick. What color do you think the Gatorade shower for the winning team will be?
I'm gonna go with red, but Angela thinks it's yellow.
All right, I'm writing. Well, I also have yellow as my color, so we're riding together, Angela. Now, this is a little bit gonna. If you don't know who you are picking for the Super Bowl, you don't have to give me an answer right now. But who do you think wins MVP?
Can I give you like if this team wins?
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Give
this
me
guy
one
or-
for each team. One for each team.
Well, the Chiefs is easy. That's Patrick Mahomes. 49ers. I'm gonna go defense. I'm gonna say Nick Bosa.
I like it. I have Patrick Mahomes because I think they're gonna win. But I'll give just because you gave one for the 49ers. I also will. I'm gonna go. Oh, who do I want to pick? Somebody weird. Let's go. Tevin Coleman.
Dude, I like it.
I don't know why. He's just going to have like 3 touchdowns for some random reason.
Why not Mostert?
Because it was too easy and I didn't want to pick him. And then, last question. Which player, either team, scores the very first touchdown of the Super Bowl? And the quarterbacks don't count, so I need to know if it's a throwing touchdown, who they're throwing it to.
Okay. Are you ready for this? Hold on.
Wow, why did neither one of us pick Travis Kelce or what's the 49ers tight end?
Kittle.
Kittle for
I
our Super Bowl MVPs.
I thought about saying Kittle. Give me 1 second. What's that guy's name?
I don't know. I'm taking Travis Kelce. I think Travis Kelce catches the first touchdown.
I think it's gonna be.
Which team? Maybe I can help you think of his name.
No, I got him pulled up. I think it's gonna be Kendrick Bourne from the 49ers.
Isn't he like their 3rd string wide receiver?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Trust the process.
Yeah, if you were betting on that, I would guarantee you his odds are insane.
I could probably put like $5 down and get like $1,000 off that.
Probably. I know. Oh, what was the bet I heard earlier today? It's like plus 10,000 is the bet. But it was Zion Williamson. He makes his NBA debut tonight, and like 2 different sports books have whether or not he'll get a triple double as plus 10,000.
I mean, I wouldn't take that because.
Dude,
I don't think
imagine
he's gonna even get a double.
Yeah, but imagine if you put what's like $50 is $500,000. Like if I'm rich, I think they actually cap it at $100, so you can't put more than $100 on it. But like, why not? If I was like super rich, I'd put as much money as they'd let me on it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm excited to see what he does. Do you think this game goes into OT, the Super Bowl?
No.
Yeah,
I actually think it's. Do you want my super early prediction before next week?
Yeah, give it to me.
Chiefs in like a 14-point blowout.
Nah, dude. I think this is gonna be a shootout.
I don't believe in Jimmy G. Sorry.
It's gonna come down to the last team to have the ball, dude. The Chiefs' defense is not that spectacular. I mean, like, if he is tearing it up against all these other teams, I mean, granted, I know he didn't tear it up against the Packers, but I mean, if he could just even keep this team like competitive, which he can, we saw it this year. I think that it's gonna be like in the 40s or 50s for each team.
Oh, me too. I think 100% it's gonna be super high scoring. I just think that the Chiefs are gonna pull away late because the 49ers are going to be behind and they're going to be throwing it a lot. But who knows? I could literally change by next Wednesday. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another bet for you to write down.
Okay.
Over-under is 54.5. You taking the over or the under?
Oh. Is that the whole over for like the whole game?
Yeah.
The over without question. I think it could be like close to that by halftime.
Same. I was literally thinking the same thing.
That's only like that's like 28 points each. I think it will be like 21-24 at halftime. If not higher than that.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about the Senior Bowl at all before we end this up?
Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me of that. I've been thinking about it and I wanted to interrupt and say something a little bit about that. Yeah. So they're throwing the annual Reese's Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. I heard it's really cold down there right now. But a lot of seniors getting to make their mark and give last impressions before the draft process begins. Are there any names that you've been keeping an eye out for the Panthers?
Yeah, every single one of the quarterbacks that's playing. This might be the first Senior Bowl I ever watch in my entire life.
Who are you liking so far?
Well, again, I have a deep love for Jake Fromm, and I don't know why. I don't even think he's playing in this game, but is he?
No, because he declared.
What?
He declared he's not a senior, so he can't play in the Senior Bowl.
I thought you meant like he's going back to school. I was like, what? Don't do this to me. I really want him, and I don't know why. He's not even going to be that great, I don't think, but I really want him. I also really like Jordan Love. I think he is very interesting to me. I don't know how high he'll go. And then Anthony Gordon from Washington State seems like he could be like a middle round guy. He's interesting also.
Yeah. For me, I'm keeping an eye out on the wide receivers. Pretty much everybody and their mother. There's a ton in this draft, and I'm looking at all of them. I really like Gandy Golden, the big-handed, big physical guy from Liberty. Kind of like a homegrown guy for me here in Virginia. I really like Van Jefferson from Florida. And there are too many to name in this draft. Michael Pittman is another one.
Colin Johnson wouldn't shock me if they moved him to tight end when he gets drafted.
I could see it.
He's huge. He's like 6'6".
That's actually just what we need. So he might be wearing a Bills uniform in about 3 months.
I'm also looking at the tight ends solely because I really think Greg Olson's going to retire. And I don't know. I'm just excited. Offensive line also. I mean, honestly, Carolina has so many holes that it's ridiculous. So
If you guys draft a tight end, you're definitely going after Randy Moss's son, Thad Moss from LSU.
I would not be mad at it. He's not going to go high at all, though.
Yeah, you guys can probably pick him off in the second or third round.
I mean, my dream for Carolina is for them to go either linebacker or defensive end, first round, second round, quarterback, third round, I guess. No, probably offensive line. Dude, there's so many holes.
So many what?
So many holes in this team. It's incredible.
I mean, you guys are just rebuilding. I mean, it'll happen. No offense to you. I don't think you guys are going to be very good this year. You guys just have a whole roster to build and not a lot of cap to do it.
Yeah,
I think you guys take a year off and maybe you'll be really good in 2021.
Suck for Trevor.
I mean,
no, we're never going to be that bad. They're going to crush my heart. We're going to go like 7-9 and then end up with like the 15th overall pick.
see, I see like 5-11.
I really think it depends on if Cam Newton's the quarterback or not.
That's true. These are very early predictions.
Because I think if it's a rookie quarterback, it could be really bad. If it's Cam Newton, he's going to like will us to like 8-8.
That's the most Panthers thing I've ever heard.
That's because that's basically how it goes. We're either like 11-5, 12-4, or we're 8-8, 9-7, or 7-9. It's literally my life as a Panthers fan.
That's insanely accurate.
And
it's
then
like a playoff team or middle of the pack.
average.
No,
And then like every 5 to 6 years, we're just really bad, and we get a new franchise player like Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, Luke Kuechly, KK Short. Like, it's just, I don't know. I have no hope for them. It's making me real sad. The Tar Heels are terrible at basketball, you know.
things will turn around, man.
No, it's
At
not.
least Duke also sucks.
No, they don't really. Carolina's on a 4-game losing streak. Although we're beating Virginia Tech right now by 10, and if they win this game, I'll be very happy. So,
Screw Tech.
yeah. Do you have anything else before we wrap this one up?
I was gonna ask one thing. Have you seen the Aaron Hernandez documentary?
I have.
What'd you think about it?
I thought the documentary was really good. I think his baby mama is the craziest person in the world. And it's all in all, it's just really sad for both parties involved. It's incredibly sad.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very tragic event. I mean, really sequence of events for a young guy. He just got twisted up with the wrong crowd, and I mean, his brain was just so impacted by all the hits he took in football. It ended up ruining his life. And I don't know. I thought the documentary was super interesting to watch, but I'm starting to wonder how like factual it was, because a lot of people were like poking holes in it and the facts. But
Well,
I mean,
yeah. Did you hear that his quarterback that claimed that they were gay together, it's not even the right guy?
yeah,
Like, the real guy came out on Twitter and was like, hey, they never were a thing. It was actually me.
wait, was he gay?
Who? The quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, the quarterback, in the interview, he was like, yeah, me and Aaron used to mess around and, like, you know, sleep together. But, like, apparently it's not true at all. Like, he's not the guy that Aaron actually had sex with.
Yeah, I know that the guy that was in the documentary wasn't the actual guy, but was the real quarterback actually fooling around with Aaron?
It was somebody on the team. I'm not sure if it was the real quarterback. I don't remember what position the guy actually played, but it was definitely somebody on the team.
Why would that guy lie, though?
To be on Netflix.
That's fair.
I think that the other guy didn't want to be on the show, and so Netflix found somebody that was willing to do it.
That's so cringy, though, because, like, that guy brought his dad on, and his dad was talking, like, ugh.
That whole situation between him and his dad was weird, too. Those people were the weirdest people of the entire the entire show to me.
Yeah, but there was also that, like, random gay offensive lineman that was, like, served, like, little to no purpose.
Yeah, there was a lot. Like, I feel like they could have made it a lot shorter than it actually was.
Yeah. Still a very compelling documentary, though. Like, still very interesting.
Oh yeah, it was
Great-
still really good.
Great TV, but like, factual, jury's still out on that one.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think that's it for me, and we'll see you guys after the Pro Bowl, and we'll be making our Super Bowl picks next week.
Yeah, guys, we kept this one a little bit shorter. I'm sure next week's will be pretty long just because it will be Super Bowl week. But till next time, have a good weekend. Stay safe.